Hey everybody, welcome back to the Giver Method channel. My name is Jake and I'm so glad you're able to join me. Now today we're going to be talking about like stress addiction. You know, whether you believe you have it or not, there's a stress addiction and like why you might be feeling safer in the chaos versus the calm. Okay, let me ask you something that might hit a little close to home. Like when was the last time that everything felt calm? And instead of enjoying it, your brain went straight to like okay, like what's about to go wrong, or what did I miss, or something's off. Like if you're not along to that, then you're definitely not alone. And guess what? Like, very big truth here is like, it's not that anything's broken. It's not that anything's weak or going to fall apart. Like, you might just be stuck in this idea of having a stress addiction, whether you've called it that or not. When chaos and crisis feels safer than maybe peace, and your nervous system has learned to see calm as like a threat rather than a gift that's sitting there waiting for you. Now, if that sounds familiar, like, then you're in the right place. You're going to want to keep listening. I mean, do you feel more alive when you're fixing problems than when you're actually celebrating any sort of wins? Do you feel uncomfortable celebrating wins, you know, and being in those joyous moments? Do you get jumpy during maybe the slow periods at work, or feel uneasy when like family life is smooth? Do you find yourself like stirring up urgency or drama just to feel that familiar intensity that's around you? Now, here's the wild part. Like, this isn't about like being dramatic or bad at relaxing. This is your nervous system's way of trying to protect you. Over time, it's learned that the constant vigilance equals safety. Being in chaos and overwhelm, your brain is now programmed to look for it and think of it in that sort of a way. Like, even when the very like pattern is draining your energy or hurting your relationships or stopping you from really living the life you want to live, being who it is you're meant to be, or having a fulfilled life with joy and happiness. You know, so I want to dive deep into these concepts with you so you can take some different pieces away. Now, my name is Jake Talbert. I'm the founder. I'm the author of this book. It's called The Giver Method. It came out in November. Since coming out, it has become an Amazon bestseller. It's sold thousands of copies. It has tons of 5-star reviews. And what people love about it is that the inside of it, all the things are going to be grounded in my story and my background, but it has worksheets, exercises, action items, things that you could go implement right away to help you to discover your gifts and superpowers, to have more impact and influence in your world, to create more value for the people around you so that you can have better relationships, you can interact with people better, you can live a more fulfilled life and step into who it is that you are meant to be. You know, so I'll put a link in the description where you can go get this off Amazon, get yourself a copy. It's the best $10 you could invest in yourself. Or you can go to Amazon directly. You can pause the video, open up Amazon, and go look up The Giver Method by Jake Talbert. But once again, I highly recommend that you get yourself a copy of that. And of course, like I said, it's grounded in my story because I've been there. Like, you're a parent, you're an entrepreneur, or maybe you're working, grinding away day to day in your job. Like, I've been there. I'm a parent. I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in that corporate 9-to-5 job. And so like, I understand the emotions and you know, feelings that you go through as a part of trying to fulfill those responsibilities. And so a lot of what I cover in the book is grounded in my own story. I've been there. And at the same time, it connects with so many people. Like I said, I've been in this scenario before, you know, where I've welcomed chaos over calm into my own life. And I've worked with hundreds of parents and entrepreneurs and people like who are working full time, who all have that moment when they realize where they're comfortable in that crisis mode way more than they're enjoying like the success that they've worked for years to try and achieve. You know, your business is finally thriving, or your family is, you know, could be healthy right now. And by maybe every external measure, things could seem incredibly well. Maybe not, but in some cases, everything looks great on paper. But instead of feeling grateful, you know, or peaceful, you feel anxious, right? Like you're waiting for something terrible to happen. You think something's about to go wrong. So unconsciously, you create problems. You know, some of you may find issues where maybe none existed, you know, or generate urgency around non-urgent tasks, or stay busy with really important work that wasn't actually going to move anything forward. It can take individuals like months to realize like what is actually happening. Your nervous system has become addicted to that familiarity of the intensity of the hustle, the stress, the crisis, the chaos. Like, peace can feel so foreign and dangerous to your brain. It tries to protect you from it. Like, and guess what? Science backs this up. So when I work in the book, I do tons of research, tons of data, as well as when I do these videos, I try to bring in all the research I can. So there's a bunch of research out there, some that came out of Stanford, that shows that chronic stress shows like it actually rewires your brain to like as a reward. Like, it changes your brain's reward system. You know, over time, your brain starts to crave the dopamine and adrenaline hits that come from crisis, and peace feels like the void that you need to fill. That's why so many of us feel restless or even guilty in those peaceful moments. Your brain genuinely thinks being on edge is what's keeping you safe. And when you really in reality, when you look at it, it's what's keeping you stuck with where you are from progressing forward. So today I want to cover 7 strategies that help you break free from this cycle. These are the tools designed specifically for busy parents, high achieving entrepreneurs, dedicated employees, that I've used, to create this peace tolerance within their life, the ability to just feel truly calm without waiting for some sort of a disaster to strike. Now these are pulled straight from the Giver method, like I said, but the thing is your true gifts, the best ideas don't come when you're in survival mode. They show up when you feel safe enough to slow down and breathe and actually be present. So once again, you can get the book on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. You can check out thegivermethod.com for other resources and ways that we help people. Also, go follow us on social media, the Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, LinkedIn, all the places, that those come up. Now, hey, some of you may be thinking Jake, I love the idea of this, working through these types of things or the concepts you talk about. But either I want to move faster or I feel like I need someone in my corner as a part of that. Well, great. I went ahead and I opened up a couple of my coaching and mentoring one-on-one spots where we work together one-on-one on these concepts. And so if you want, you can go down in the description. There'll be a link to go check out the coaching page where you can learn more about it. And if it makes sense, book a call so that we can dive into that. Okay? Now, hey, if at the same time, a lot of people watch these videos, maybe you run a team or have a podcast, a mastermind, some sort of community or event where you think this message or a message like this could resonate with them. Let's chat about how we could bring this to your people in a really practical and hands-on way. Okay, so there'll be a link below for speaking and podcasting for that. And of course, if video speaks to you, please let me know in the comments. Leave your comments along the way, what hit home for you. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out, because I record videos every single day and release them. I wouldn't want you to miss out on any of that content. Okay, so let's dive in. Let's talk about how you can stop mistaking chaos for safety and finally learn to live that steady and calm confidence that really changes everything for you. And so our first strategy that we want to focus on is there's the stress comfort awareness, side of things, learning to recognize when you're chasing chaos over calm, that hidden addiction recognition system. It's a stress comfort check-in that you're looking for. So this is something that might flip the way that you see yourself. You might actually be choosing stress because it feels safer than the peace. Not on purpose. You may not have defined it as that stress addiction before, but some of these things might be hitting home to you. And it's your nervous system. It's just used to being on that high alert. And so if you've spent years juggling different things, solving fires at work, constantly doing you're constantly doing things that your brain starts to think gosh, chaos equals safety. It's a part of who we are. And then the calm is you letting your guard down, and that can really freak your system out. And the sneaky part is that it doesn't look like a problem from the outside. You probably seem super capable, productive. Maybe people are like, man, you're always on it. But under the surface, you're running on adrenaline, and that stress is waiting to break. I've been there. I get it. You're creating the urgency where none exists. You're feeling restless when life is finally smooth. And you might even find yourself stirring up maybe drama or pieces just for a bit of that familiar buzz that's out there. And so we want to talk about how you can break that cycle, how you can move past that. So the first thing I want you to do is you've got to catch it. So you need to do a daily stress check-in where a few times throughout the day, maybe you've got a morning time, an afternoon time, and then before bed, where you're going to ask yourself a question. Am I choosing calm right now, or am I creating stress out of habit? Notice when you feel restless during downtime. When you blow up at really small issues, or when you suddenly make an urgent task out of something that could have totally waited. Pay attention to your body too, because you think about it this way: do you relax when things are going well, or do you feel kind of itchy, you need to do something? Are you scrolling your phone during a peaceful dinner, making lists in your head during the quiet moments, and then looking for problems where none exist? These could all be signs that your system is hooked on that stress hustle feeling. You could also look at this way: you could create a chaos log, for a week where you jot down any time when you catch yourself creating stress or urgency. What was happening right before? Were you celebrating a win? Was your family calm at that point? Was your business humming smoothly? You might realize that you stir things up when life starts to feel peaceful. But you want to focus on these things because you can't change what you don't see. You have to spot it in the wild. Once you start catching these moments, you stop blaming yourself for like maybe messing things up, and you just start understanding like, oh, like my nervous system is trying to keep me safe in the only way it knows how. I've programmed myself this way, you know, and that's fine. You don't have to be, there's no judgment. It's just, it's what's happened. And then from there, you get to choose differently. You get to show up for yourself with peace, you know, show yourself that peace is a safe place to be. You know, this is like the first step towards building a life of calm that, you know, doesn't feel like a threat. It feels like home. It's that comfort level. And that leads us into the second strategy, which is like there's this nervous system reset. Okay, teaching your body that safety and calm are possible. Like we have to learn, we have to teach our body that, you know, because if we're real, like you can tell yourself like, hey, just relax, you know, 1,000 times, you know, hey, don't stress about that. It's okay. Just relax. But your body doesn't feel safe. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again and again. You can't outthink your way into calm. You have to show your nervous system what safety feels like. You're reprogramming it based off of actions that are happening. And when you go, like when you've lived that go mode, that hustle and everything for so long, your body thinks being on the edge is normal. The calm moments feel weird and maybe dangerous. And that's because the system's trained to be constantly in a readiness, like, you know, it's in that survival mode. And the thing is your body needs like repeated and gentle proof that's okay to slow down. It's not about forcing yourself to like chill and try it out of sheer willpower. It's just about giving your body little reminders that, you know, calm, peace, it's okay. And that it's safe to drop our armor and the mask we carry with ourselves. You know, so this is how we do that. What I want you to do, one of my favorite things that you could start to do is this, like, you know, like it's the fully physical, like physiological sigh, right? Like where you do a big inhale through your nose and then like sneak in that second little sip of air before you're at the top. Like breathe it in and then exhale it out. And do that 3 to 5 times when you feel the urge of chaos or you catch yourself on the edge. Like these breathing like things, it's amazing what they can do. You know, breathwork apps are amazing in how they can help you with this type of stuff. But if you just simply breathe in and then when you're at the top, take a little bit more, hold it for a little bit, and then exhale. Like that's it. Like when you do that, it's like one of the fastest way to slip your system into a calm mode is just giving yourself that extra oxygen. Another way is like try giving yourself you're gonna think of yourself like you're scanning your body for safety. You know, maybe set a timer for a few minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes, and you start with your toes and work your way up and slowly telling each part like, hey, are you safe? Are you good? You know, can you let go? Can we move on past this? Like, and once again, it might sound cheesy. It might sound like people are like, you know, well, that's really woo. That's really like, no, it's not. It actually works. This is something that is proven to work. Like you're literally retraining it to stop and like you stop bracing yourself for attack that is never coming. Like you can let the muscles relax. And then of course, lastly, you could do some sort of a daily downshift, like sort of a mantra or ritual where you pick a time, maybe after work or before bed, where you know, do something slow and calm on purpose. You know, some gentle stretching, some breathing, some sitting quietly with no phone. The key is not to be perfect in any way. It's just to make some sort of consistent, you know, calmness in your life. Your body learns through repetition, not through the intensity of it. You know, now this can change things for people. Like change in your life doesn't happen just in your mind. It happens through your body first. And when your nervous system finally believes that calm is safe, you stop looking for the fires to fight. You know, and you move from always reacting to truly responding. It's going to unlock like more creativity, better problem solving, and like lets you use your actual superpowers to make a difference in people's lives. And that takes us to the third strategy. Now, our third one is like this peace tolerance building. Like we got to build up our capacity to sit in stillness without the urgency that comes with that. Because if we get real about this, like if you've been living that hustle or go mode for years, you can't expect to suddenly like love these long stretches of calm the same way that you know can't expect to go run a marathon without training. I've tried it. It's not fun. You know, your system needs to learn, like it needs time to develop that, you know, sitting is okay, sitting is safe, and my life can be calm. Like, and once again, that it's not terrible. Like, just because we're calm, like nothing's gonna jump out at us and do anything. Like, we can finally take a breath. You know, when you first start slowing down, like calm will feel maybe uncomfortable. It could feel super uncomfortable in some cases. You might feel restless or you know, antsy, or even like kind of that itch on the inside. But Like, it's not a sign that you're doing anything wrong or that you're broken. It's just your nervous system is doing what's trained to do, stay on high alert. So, you're giving yourself a chance to teach it the new way to be. The goal isn't to force yourself to love calm overnight. It's just to build these peace muscles in ourselves, like, and a little bit at a time. Eventually, you can enjoy the quiet moments without jumping up to check your phone or fix something or plan your next 10 moves. So here's what I want you to do. Here's how we work through this, a couple of ideas. Number one is like, you start with this, like, creating stillness sessions where you set a timer for 1 to 2 minutes. That's it. And you just sit. No phone. No list making. No sneaky multitasking. Just breathe. Notice what comes up. Pay attention to your environment around you. What colors do you see? What are you smelling? Just be in that moment of stillness. Like, over time, that minute, like, here and like, as you do it here and there, you can hang out in stillness for longer. Maybe you find that 1 to 2 minutes becomes 5 minutes or 10 minutes, 15 minutes without, like, having that itchiness to bail, right? And then think of it this way, like, try this idea of, like, I call it the extra 30, okay? If you catch yourself in a peaceful moment, maybe it's that sip of coffee, maybe it's, a pause in the house before the kids come crashing in, like, and just stay in that moment for 30 seconds more than you normally would. Just, like I said, soak it in. Our brain runs on the next tasks and gradually stretches these pauses. Like, let's pull them apart a little bit. Let's give ourselves some time to breathe and watch how comfort with calm starts to grow within our lives. And then here's a fun one that you can do is you can pick a calm challenge of some kind. When you're faced with a choice between handling something with urgency or ease, choose ease. When you could approach a problem with panic or steady confidence, go with steady. Notice how your body reacts. Practice holding that choice, like, even when your old patterns try to yank you back into the chaos world, because calm is where the true magic lives. That's where your best ideas come from. It's where you can actually, like, enjoy your wins and where you can really, be there for the people around you and show up as your authentic self as much as humanly possible. That's where the real connection and fulfillment lives. Now, our fourth one is, like, there's this crisis pattern interruption. We need to recognize and stop the self-sabotage in those peaceful moments. Like, we need to stop the drama loop or the whatever it is, catch ourselves before it becomes the chaos, right? Because, this is something that could be wild to you, but, like, you might be creating problems on purpose without even knowing it. It happens so often. Like, just stay with me on this. Like, have you noticed in your life, like, when things are smooth, business is steady, relationship feels good, kids aren't melting down, your brain starts poking around for something to fix. You might pick, fight over something tiny, just for the sake of it, like, or stir up a little bit of drama at work, or suddenly decide that you want to redo your whole plan right now, like, without anything expected. This isn't, because you're trying to make life harder. It's because, like, your nervous system has gotten used to that chaos. That's where it feels calm. For them, it feels peaceful. To them, like, your brain feels that sense of calmness in the chaos. It's like, well, that's risky. Deep down, you're thinking, like, it means you're vulnerable, and you might be caught off guard. So it scrambles back to the familiar buzz of stress. And the trickiest part is, like, that pattern often hides behind labels of, like, I'm being thorough. I'm a perfectionist. I'm just staying on top of things. I have high standards. I don't know if you've ever heard yourself say any of those terms, but those could be some dead giveaways. You tell yourself you're being responsible, right? But if you really look, like, a lot of it is just your system craving the drama, the hustle, the chaos it knows so well. So here's what I want you to do. Like, we want to catch it. We want to start with this, like, pre-drama, pre-chaos pause. The next time things are going well, pause and ask yourself, am I searching for problems right now? Am I about to make something feel urgent that really isn't? Am I going to try and pivot what we're doing really quickly without anyone expecting it? And just naming it is a huge step. And of course, you can try doing these 48-hour, like, celebration holds. So, like, let's talk about when something goes right. Challenge yourself to just sit with that win for 2 full days before you try to jump in or fix or upgrade anything else. Notice what your mind does. Does it start scanning for what's missing or what could go wrong? Like, that's just your old wiring, the old programming talking. No need to act on it. Just watch how it's happening around you. And, like, another favorite that a lot of people dive into is, like, there's the chaos delay or the drama delay button, all right? When you feel the itch to maybe blow up a small issue, wait for 24 hours. Give it a full day before you react to it. 9 times out of 10, you'll see that what felt really urgent yesterday wasn't really urgent at all. It's just your nervous system looking for that rush. Because, like, if you keep tripping into this sabotage, pattern, you're never going to actually enjoy the good stuff that you've worked so hard for. You're never going to be able to live that fulfilled life. You just keep building success and then tearing it down before you can sit in it. And so you stop that loop. You move out of surviving to actually living and thriving, from hustle into fulfillment. And the bonus is like you teach those around you, your kids, your team, partner, like that chaos is required to feel alive. Like, no, let's model that it's safe and that's incredible, and that it allows us to be present and enjoy the moments within our lives. That takes us to the fifth one, which is like there's this success tolerance training, learning to enjoy the good times, like how we actually take that all in. Because let's be real, so many of us are pros at working hard, hustling, pushing through, but when it actually comes to enjoying the payoff, like we kind of stink at it, right? We're not good at enjoying the win. We get that big win, peaceful moment, like in our business breakthrough, and instead of soaking it, like we just immediately jump to like what's next, or how long until this falls apart. If you've spent years in stress mode, success can feel so dangerous. Your nervous system is thinking like, uh-oh, like we're letting our guard down, and you might even believe that deep down that celebrating that win might make you look naive or make people jealous, or you might jinx your good fortune. So we need to do that. Like what we need to do, we need to downplay that. Like we rush forward, we try to create new fires, we try to change everything in that moment. Thing is, like, learning to sit with the success doesn't mean you lose your edge or stop striving. Like it means that you're finally letting yourself reward your effort and like take that in. You're telling your brain it's okay to recalibrate and like, hey, we can hold on to this. Like everything's good. We don't need to go change everything. So you need to start building that muscle. First thing is like there's like success savoring sessions. The next time that something goes well, block off a few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and literally just sit with it and feel it in your body. Let that sense of like pride wash over you without already listing the next to-do item, or watch for like the gratitude butts, we'll call it. It's a habit that people have where, I'm so grateful for this, but now I have to, or hey, this is great, but I still need to, I did that thing, but like instead of just like stopping and letting be in that moment of gratitude, like let it breathe, no disclaimers, no immediate problem solving. And then finally create like there's victory lap rituals where you pick ways to celebrate that don't involve more hustle. Call a friend to cheer you on, go on a walk with your favorite music, sit on the porch and just breathe it in. The key is having these ready so that you don't like slide right back into minimizing or dismissing your win. If you can't hold on to the good moments, life turns into this effortless, or this endless chase that you're going to always be in. You're always trying to prove something or always moving. You're never arriving. Well, gosh, how do we let that success sit with us? How do we shift from scarcity to abundance? Like, you give everyone around you the permission to do the same thing, and you show kids, your team, partner, like it's safe. It feels good to be in this sort of a place. And that takes us to the sixth strategy. So like being present, like this present moment anchoring, like how you ground yourself in like the current reality instead of like future catastrophes. Like if you're wired for stress, your mind probably is always sprinting ahead. It's always scanning for the next problem or rehearsing the what ifs, trying to be one step ahead of the disaster, the things that may never actually come. It feels like you're being prepared, but really like you're just stuck living in these imaginary emergencies or what ifs instead of enjoying the moment that you're in. Coming back to the present isn't about pretending that everything's perfect, because it may not be. But it's about getting real with like what's actually true right now, not what your mind is making up. When you're anchored in the present, like when you just ground yourself, you can respond calmly to real challenge instead of creating them from a panic place. You can be more creative, better problem solving, be more present. And I know a lot of us, like just being here and now can feel kind of boring at first, in that moment. You're so used to the adrenaline rush of the problems that, and that the simple moments feel almost empty, but that's exactly why this matters. Your nervous system needs to learn that calm is safe. And so here's what you want to do. Like one of my favorite tools is the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 reset. If you catch yourself spiraling into future worries, pause and name 5 things you can see right now. What can you see? What are 4 things you can touch? What are 3 things you can hear? What are 2 things you can smell? And what's 1 thing you can taste? Like that reset of your nervous system, it yanks you straight out of your head and into the present moment. It's amazing what it can do for you. Another one is like this reality check, like where you have a list of questions where you feel the urgency coming. You're going to ask yourself things like, well, what's actually happening right now? what's real here? And 9 times out of 10, you'll realize that the stress is about something that hasn't happened and may never happen at all. And then there's these like mini now moments you want to create, where throughout your day you pick these little pockets of presence. Feel your feet on the floor while you're waiting in line. Like you really listen to your kid telling that story, instead of half listening or half planning dinner. Like you taste your coffee instead of just chugging it down, like you're on autopilot. These micro check-ins just teach your body to be, right now is enough. I'm safe here in this space. Because being present is the only place that you can actually do anything, feel anything real, or enjoy what you've worked so hard for. When you're stuck in this future, what if, so no, what could happen? Like, you don't see the real opportunities. You can't celebrate the wins, and you can't connect with the people you love. So you anchor yourself in this sort of way. It breaks those cycles of problem solving, chasing after the problems and finally being here and grounded and clear and calm in what you want to do. And then our last one, as we wrap this up, is this calm identity, like integration, like shifting from the crisis manager to being the peaceful leader. Let's not be a crisis junkie. Let's be the steady, trusted one, right? One of the sneakiest reasons we stay addicted to the stress is because it becomes part of who we are. And if we're always the fixer, I'm the rock, I'm the one who handles everything so well, like your identity gets wrapped up in being the go-to crisis manager. You feel important when you're solving fires, right? When you think it's what you think makes you valuable within the world. But here's the trap: the very thing that makes you feel needed is the same thing that's burning you out and keeping you from actually enjoying what you've been working hard to create. When you value, like when you feel your values tied to stress, like that calm around you is a threat, because it's you don't have value in calm. Who you are, if there's no problem to fix, who am I? Like, what do I need, like for it to, if you're not running around putting out fires, like what am I needed for around here? So like there's a shift here that's so powerful, and honestly it's life-changing for people. It's about moving from someone who feels valuable only in the chaos, someone who can create value through the calm presence and steady leadership, using your gifts and superpowers and being there authentically because of who you are. You're not losing your edge or becoming passive. You're just actually stepping into deeper, stronger version of yourself, one that can guide and inspire and make bigger impact without running on fumes. So here's what I want you to do. Start by, this idea of what we call a identity rewiring, where you ask yourself, like, who do I want to be when everything is going well? Who do I want to be? Who do I want to show up as? Instead of being I'm the one who holds everything together, it's like, hey, I'm the one who brings stability and calm confidence. Instead of like I'm the employee who fixes all the emergencies, it's like, hey, I'm the one who builds a system and solves problems from a place of clarity. And then practice like calm leadership moments. Like the next time problems show up, pause and like take that breath and like choose to respond instead of react. Notice how the people around you shift when you show up from this steady presence instead of stressed. You're gonna be surprised how contagious like that calmness can be. People naturally will lean into it. And then finally, there's this like proof of calm wins, where you start tracking the moments when you made you made some sort of a great decision, you came up with some creative idea, or you had the meaningful conversation. You just know how many of those happen when you're grounded and not frantic. And keep a running list of that, like put it on your phone or whatever. Like that's proof that you have a real superpower. Isn't stress, it's the presence and being there in the moment. Because when you shift your identity, you stop chasing habits and start like changing your story. You no longer are the firefighter, always looking for the next blaze. You become the builder or the guide or the steady presence people can trust and respect. You have access to these gifts that you can lead from with strength rather than from survival mode. And so as we wrap this up, as we bring this all together, like here's the truth that, all that chaos that you've been clinging to, it's not keeping you safe, it's keeping you small. The strategies we talked about today, they aren't just like about dialing down the stress. Like, yeah, stress happens, it comes up, but it's about flipping the whole story you've been told, like, and you've been telling yourself about what keeps you strong. When you start noticing the stress habits and teaching your body to be calm, when you learn to hang in the peace and, not waiting for the next shoe to drop, like you're not just chilling out, you're finally stepping into who you really are. Your gifts, your creativity, your real superpowers, they don't come out when you're in that survival mode. They show up when you feel grounded and present, and that big vision that you have for your business, the connection you want with your family, that steady confidence you wish you had in your work, like it's all waiting for you just on the other side of calm. Like I learned this the hard way myself. Like, and I've seen it with so many parents and entrepreneurs and high-performing employees, like that I've worked with over time. Like, the life you're trying to protect isn't constantly like about being ready for anything. It's actually the life that you're kind of holding hostage by not letting yourself rest. Choosing that calm doesn't make you soft in any sort of way. It actually makes you more unstoppable because you have more energy. You have that true edge, the deep magnetic presence that actually changes rooms. It inspires people, that only shows up when you're not chasing chaos. Like, those peaceful moments maybe you've been brushing off, they're not a fluke. They're a preview of how good life actually feels when you stop chasing the storm, in order to feel alive. So like the success you keep minimizing, it's not the same, like it's not some fragile gift that will disappear if you relax. It's just proof of what's possible when you trust yourself enough to stand still and receive it. And so my challenge to you is to stop waiting for the disaster to prove you're strong. Stop making yourself busy just to feel important. Stop mistaking the constant motion for real impact. Your real power, it's not the fight, it's the calm. And if you want to dive deeper into this journey, if you want to go more into it, then this is where you'd want to go get yourself a copy of the Giver Method on Amazon, unlock those gifts, build your life that feels good inside and feels good inside. It looks good on the outside, all around. So the link is in the description. Go get it on Amazon as a part of that. Once again, if you feel like having some backup on this, check out the one-on-one coaching that we have. The link is down in the description. It sounds like you might need the support as a part of getting through that and developing these things. Then check that out. Also, once again, if you run a team, host a podcast, you have an event or community that this message or one like it could light them up, then let's talk about how we could bring this work in a super practical and down-to-earth way to them. And you'll find the link to that below as well. If this video hit home for you, drop me a comment. Let me know what stood out. And of course, like the video, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications so that you don't miss out on what's coming next. Just remember this, peace isn't the opposite of drive. Peace is the fuel that makes your drive actually sustainable. The chaos that you've been calling being alive, hustle, I'm getting there, it's just noise. The stress you've been trying to tie into your worth, it's just a distraction. Your nervous system's job is to keep you alive. Your job is to teach it that it can finally be alive in the calm around you. And so with that, I'll say thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you for investing that time. I cannot wait to see what you create when you stop running from the calm and you start running towards it. And so I will catch you in our next video. Have a great rest of your day.